people what it took in order to reach certain levels within the gambling industry and the type of people and different types of rich people and stuff like that. Now that video did like 1.7 million views, and then I had another video that went viral right before that, and it did like 700,000 immediately on YouTube. So I had ascended to where I had got like 50,000, like 50 something thousand subscribers by the time that video had went off. Now, I had been making other videos, urban explorations. I was buying motorcycles, Jeeps. I had started working on a restaurant, and JR had hit me up. He had hit me up on Instagram, right? And so he reached out to me and he like, yo, fam, I like your Jeep. I got a Jeep too. I'm from Chicago or whatever. And so we just kind of naturally started going back and forth and having different conversations. And so we was on the phone together. I was pouring into him. And I was adding a lot of value into his life. And I was trying to give him the game on social media and how to manage certain businesses. And he had certain ideas that he wanted to go over and so on and so forth. And I'm like, cool. So we just kind of started having a genuine conversation. And this is how me and JR met. He DM'd me. We started talking on Instagram. He wanted me to check out what it was that he had going on Facebook. So I checked out Facebook, and that's when I discovered what he was trying to build, or, a couple of episodes of him, B Nix, and the other guy just talking around the table, having a conversation, right? And then he was like, yo, why don't you show up I don't know if he invited me to show up on an episode, or I'm like, yo, I'll turn up if you want me to. If you need me to, I'll turn this mug out, right? But anyways, he brought me on, and I just showed up. You know what I'm saying? I just did it on the fly, just on some love type junk. I already knew I had a following. I already knew what I was doing. I already knew what the direction of what my life was going in. And so I turned up. But we were streaming it exclusively on Facebook, right? In the Facebook group. So I immediately caused a wave. Because, I was very controversial. I was very matter of fact. The same way that I am now is how I was on that. And it upset a lot of the women and the feminists that was in the group and all of that, but it was a hit. Like, you could see that it was a hit, right? B Nix was on there, JR was on there, and there was another girl. And then later we brought Tawana on there. And then I was like, yo, we need to get away from this Facebook shit. We need to be focused on YouTube. And JR was like, well, I don't know if we want to alienate the Facebook people. And I told him straight up, I said, yo, if the Facebook people really rock with you like that, then they'll follow us over to YouTube, but we just gonna do this YouTube thing exclusively, right? So that's a general idea of the breakdown of what basically it was when we first started creating this thing, right? So we just organically got together. We did it on YouTube. I dedicated myself, in which I never, ever, ever missed a Thursday. Through all of the different things that happened. Different people left. B Nix was like, yo, I just wanted to come in and show some love. This is not a long-term thing for me now. I don't want it to affect what I got going on in corporate America or academia or whatever. So he decided, he dipping. And throughout the history of it, we just made a bond, and we was like, listen, no matter what happens, if we beef, if we get into it, the different people that's going to come and go, we still got us. Like, all we need is us to make sure that we continue to build this thing. And so that was the objective. And now a lot of you guys are familiar with the history of it. Different people came, different people gone. A lot of people, came in for the wrong reasons. Some people came in for the right reasons. And we made history. There's a lot of people that I don't believe even would even exist, or you would have visibility into, if you have never known what it was that we did, right? So we made history, right? Monetized. I remember at one point, it was during a mirror stream on a Sunday, and JR hit me up and he said, yo, we got a problem, right? And I'm like, what's going on? We lost the channel. This is facts. We lost the channel, right? A lot of y'all remember it. Some of y'all was around, some of y'all wasn't. And I said, oh man. So we went through this campaign. He was very emotional about it. I was very emotional about it because this was our baby. This was something that we had built together, and we had lost the channel because somebody had came up during a live stream and they had like flashed or did some kind of, whatever inappropriate stuff. And immediately it was like a hit, and immediately the channel went down. And so, we went on a campaign, and that's where the Lapeef Experience channel came from, because that was actually JR's personal channel. It was like his vlogging channel. But then I was like, listen, and this is honest to God truth. I'm just giving y'all a little bit of insight of what goes on behind the scenes and how dedicated that I was and how dedicated we were into building the brand, right? So when we lost the channel, I didn't trip. I said, listen, both of my channels was approaching 100,000 subscribers, both this and the Millionaire Morning Show and the Anton Daniels channel was getting to the point to where they both were eclipsing 100,000 subscribers on both of them. And the Lapeef network at that time, I think it was at like 70 something or something like that. And I said, listen, don't worry about it. And he said, what do you mean? I said, don't worry about it. I said, worst case scenario, what we'll do is I will give you my channel. I will give you one of my channels. This is 100% facts. I said, worst case scenario, I'm so dedicated to making sure that you successful because I always know that anything I touch is going to be gold. I was willing to make the sacrifice. I was willing to be the bad guy. I was willing to say the unpopular thing in order to create the entertainment. I was willing to get it popping. And it was authentically what I really felt, but it was the things that people were unwilling to say or talk about because they were so worried about their image, right? And so I did what it took in order to make sure that we successful, right? And I said, listen, if anything happened, I will give my channel and we will rebrand it over to the new Lapeef Let's Talk or the new Lapeef Network, and you can have it. This is 100% facts. 100% facts. I was willing to do anything it took. Eat, sleep, breathe, prioritize, made sure that the brand was what it was, right? Here's the thing, right? A lot of people want this to be a negative thing. And the reason why I went through the history of it is because there's a lot of new people that have now came into the fold and they just now discovering the channel and they know about all of the just pearly things and stuff like that. And they think it's that, right? They think it's that. They don't know that I was driving or I went over into Chicago during COVID in order to build with them. They don't know that. They don't know that I was really over there, right? They don't know the different wars and the things that we went through and the different conversations and all of that, right? They don't know the dedication that I put into me personally. I can't speak for nobody else. They don't know the dedication of what it took in order for us to make sure that the loyalty, the love, right? When we first started making money on that channel, I said, yo, I don't need nothing. Not a payment anyways. The business side of it is completely different. But as far as like paying me versus making sure that everybody was looked out for, I don't need nothing. Right? Loyalty, dedication, love, the whole 9 yards, right? Now, obviously we split responsibilities and I'm not going into the business side of it. But I only went through all of that just to show you or give you a little bit of insight and information on the history behind what it was that we built together, right? We built this from the ground up through thick and thin. We wound up getting the channel back. We revamped the other channel. That's the Lapeef Experience now. That's, it is what it is went its own direction. We started giving people different platforms and all of that, right? Now, let's get into the thing that y'all really want to know or that y'all really inquiring about. Because I even see it's, coming up in the chat. Is there beef? Absolutely, positively not. Never has been, never will be at all. It's 100% a business decision. 100%. I have no animosity whatsoever. Let me tell you how it came about. I'm in the Dominican Republic and we chilling. And you know, being out of the country and being, you know, in a different space kind of puts you in this zone where you get to making sure that everything is aligned according to the direction of your life. And more than a month and a half ago, maybe almost 2 months ago, right? I had made the decision that I wanted to move on from being on panels because I had dedicated my life to it. I had done it for over 3 years, unmissed, building a platform, working behind the scenes, making sure everything is taken care of on the business side. All of that, right? I dedicated my entire life. I was willing to give up my own channel when we had lost that channel in order to continue the vision and the growth of what it was that we originally thought that this thing could be. It was time for me to move on to bigger things, right? I started getting different opportunities, the whole 9 yards, right? It is what it is. It was time to move on. So, you know, when I'm in the Dominican Republic, obviously, you know, we talking about different stuff and we talking about business. And I don't talk about business as it relates to Lapeef Network, even with my Patreon members, right? When I break down and I show what I make and I show y'all the business side or whatever, I don't talk about Fight Club business. I don't talk about Lapeef business. I don't talk about don't do coke in the bathroom. I only show y'all what it is that I singularly generate. So when I'm in the Dominican Republic, you know, we on the phone and we talk about different business stuff. And okay, this person is not going to be streaming, or this person is going to be streaming tonight or whatever. And so I just broached the conversation and I said, yo, we need to talk about, you know, what it is that, what's the next vision? What is it that we doing going forward? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in a different space, or I'm looking at it this way, right? And then you know, you got your vision for how it is that you see it because it's your name attached to it, even though we built it together. So we need to figure this thing out. And so we talked for about 15, 20 minutes. And again, it wasn't no kind of beef or nothing like that. It was just genuinely conversation. And I just made the decision, like, listen, I made the decision. I said, listen, it's time for me to just move on. It's time to go in a different direction.